The camera zooms in tight. Prince Harry sits under the blazing studio lights of the Kelly Clarkson Show, dressed impeccably in a navy suit, every thread stitched with entitlement. But his eyes are restless, defensive, as if he walked into the room, expecting battle. Across from him, Kelly Clarkson leans into the curve of her velvet chair. Blonde waves cascading down her shoulders. The southern warmth in her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes today, not yet. She knows something's coming, the audience, electrified. Applause fades into tense silence as the red light on the camera flashes live. If you've ever watched a conversation unravel in real-time, you've ever seen ego collide with truth. You'll want to stay right here, Kelly says, eyes flicking toward the camera. And if this already feels like the start of a storm, do yourself a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Because we're seconds into a car crash you won't be able to look away from. Prince Harry, she beams, clapping gently. The audience roars. Welcome to the show. He stands too long, offering a diplomatic nod like he's addressing a G7 summit instead of a daytime studio. Then he sits, crosses his leg with practiced poise, and flashes the smirk one we've all seen before. A smile that says, "I'm still above all this, thanks, Kelly," he says, glancing around. Quite the setup you've got. We do all right, she chuckles. So, how's California treating you? A bit different from Buckingham, I imagine. Well, I wouldn't say I'm just another celebrity, he replies, resting his arm on the back of the chair. I'm still a prince. That doesn't change with a change of postcode. Kelly blinks. Of course not. But going from royal duties to, making docuseries for streaming platforms, it's a pivot, right? Harry's smile flattens. Everything I do reflects who I am, my heritage, my birthright, right, Kelly says, carefully. But now you're writing books, signing deals, giving interviews. Doesn't that feel a bit less royal and a bit more Hollywood? Harry leans forward, eyes narrowing slightly. It's not about feeling royal, Kelly. It's about responsibility. You don't clock in and out of royalty. It's not a job. It's who you are. Sure, she says, keeping her tone light. But identity changes too. Like marriage. That shifts a lot for people. Hasn't it changed you? There it is, the moment. Harry's smile vanishes. His entire body stills. His gaze hardens. What do you mean by that? I mean, Kelly's tone softens. Marriage changes everyone. You grow, you adjust, you evolve. That's all I meant. He studies her. You're implying Megan changed me. That she's controlling me. No, Kelly says, startled. I'm asking about you, not her. He scoffs. You say that, but it's always about her, isn't it? Every question, every article, every podcast. Always Megan. The room tightens. Even the audience seems to stop breathing. Kelly keeps her voice calm. Harry, I ask that question to every married guest. You're the only one who's reacted this way, so I'm the problem, he shoots back. I didn't say that. No, but it's implied, he snaps. Every time I open my mouth about my marriage, someone spins it. Makes it about her manipulating me. Kelly exhales. You're reading into something I didn't say. I asked about how marriage changed. You, not about your wife, but that's what you meant. No, Harry, Kelly says, a little firmer now. That's what you decided I meant. Harry stands. His chair scrapes loudly. A jolt runs through the crowd. Two producers glance. At security, who rise slowly off camera, I'm tired of pretending, he says. Tired of smiling while everyone paints her as the villain and me as the idiot prince who got tricked into love. Kelly's voice drops, cold steel and silk. Sit down. I don't take orders from talk show hosts. You're in my studio. You're on my show, she fires back. And right now, you're unraveling in front of millions. You think this is unraveling? He laughs bitterly. You have no idea what I've been through. Then explain it, she says calmly, like an adult. You think this is calm after everything the media's done to us? I'm not the media, Harry. I'm Kelly, sitting in a chair. Asking about your marriage, like I do with every guest. You're the one who turned it into a war. You're all the same, pretending to care, pretending to be fair. I'm not pretending anything, she says sharply. I'm trying to have a conversation, and you're turning it into a courtroom. Harry's voice cracks slightly, because it always becomes one. You ask about marriage, then you ask about why I left, then you ask about Megan, then my family. It's the same damn script. Then maybe, Kelly snaps, you need to stop playing the victim in it. The audience gasps. Even the floor manager flinches. Harry looks like he's been slapped, but he doesn't retreat. He doubles down. Victim, he shouts. You think I'm a victim? I gave up my country, my home, my family. I walked away to protect my wife and children. No one made you leave, Kelly says. You chose it. There's a difference between sacrifice and abandonment. His eyes flare. You don't know what it's like to be me, and you don't know what it's like to be here, she says, gesturing to the studio, trying to give you a platform and watching you set it on fire. Harry paces now, hand raking through his hair. I came here to tell my truth. You came here to play martyr, Kelly mutters. And you're failing at that too. He spins around. You think you're better than me? I think I'm not yelling in my own studio, she replies. His voice lowers quiet, dangerous. People like you are why I left. Her face stills. People like me. He doesn't answer. That's what I thought, she says. Harry looks toward the camera. It's still rolling, still capturing. You can twist this however you want, he says, but people will see through it. Kelly walks back to her seat. They already are. He stands there, breathing hard, flushed, lost dot. Behind him, the audience stares, no longer applauding, no longer smiling, just watching. Watching the unraveling of a prince live and unfiltered. The silence hangs like smoke in the air. Harry doesn't move. His chest rises and falls in shallow bursts like he's just run up a mountain or down one. He looks toward the audience, expecting empathy. Maybe even a murmur of applause. But there's nothing. Just hundreds of eyes staring back, waiting to see what he'll do next. From her seat, Kelly adjusts her mic pack. Her hands are steady, her jaw tight. She doesn't say a word. The stage manager gives a subtle hand signal. The cameras keep rolling. No cuts, no commercial break. Not when it's this raw. I didn't come here to fight, Harry says finally. Quieter now. I came here to speak. You came here to control the narrative, Kelly says, not missing a beat. And when it didn't go your way, you unraveled. I've been chased, Kelly. Hunted, since I was a child. She doesn't deny it. I don't doubt that. I don't minimize it. But this isn't Buckingham Palace. And I'm not a reporter hiding behind a tree. I'm a host sitting 10 feet from you, asking a question that any married man should be able to answer. You think this is about marriage? Harry laughs, but it's dry, broken. This is about survival. Then explain that, Kelly says, voice razor thin, because all I see is someone who came on a talk show with his fists already clenched. Harry sits again, this time slower. He leans forward, elbows on knees, eyes searching the floor, like the answers might be buried in the hardwood. My brother, they didn't protect us, he mutters. They protected the crown, the headlines, the image. We were dispensable. And now you're here, Kelly says carefully, doing interviews, writing memoirs, documentaries, and somehow you're still the victim. I didn't ask to be born into that family. No one asks to be born into anything, she replies. But you've had more power to shape your life than most people could dream of. You didn't just walk away, you monetized the exit. That hits him square in the ribs. His fingers flex against the fabric of his pants. You think this is about money? He asks, voice rising again. Do you have any idea how much we gave up? Security, legacy, tradition, security? Kelly interrupts. You have private detail, gated estates, deals with billion-dollar corporations. You're not being hunted, Harry. You're being filmed. You don't understand, he says, standing again. No, I don't, she snaps. I don't understand how a man who says he wants privacy keeps showing up on TV, keeps showing up on my show, and then throws a tantrum when asked a normal question. I'm not throwing a tantrum. You're yelling, she replies flatly. I'm passionate. You're spiraling. They stare at each other. Behind the cameras, a crew member whispers to another, Should we cut? The producer shakes her head violently. Not now. Not in the middle of gold. Harry steps back toward his chair and paces. He's shaking now, not out of fear, out of fury. His voice trembles, not from nerves, but from something older, something that started in his bones when he was a child. Walking behind his mother's coffin, they killed her. He says suddenly, They killed my mother. With their questions, with their cameras, with their headlines, Kelly's expression changes just for a second. A shadow of real pain crosses her face. "And I believe that?" she says. "I do, but I'm not them, and this isn't that." "It's all that," he shouts. It's the same engine, the same press cycle, the same smiling faces pretending to care until they get the headline they want. Kelly doesn't flinch. "I didn't bring up your mother, you brought up my wife. I asked how marriage changed your perspective, Harry," she says, her voice suddenly loud. "You turned that into a witch trial. That's on you, not me." Another silence. Another breathless, studio-wide stillness. Then an audience member coughs. Another whispers too loudly, "This is insane." A third stands up, hesitates, then sits back down like their legs gave out beneath them. Harry turns his head sharply. "You think this is funny?" "No one's laughing," Kelly says. "We're stunned, because instead of showing people the strength and clarity you say you've gained, what they're watching is a meltdown." He looks toward the exit. His lips move, barely audible. "I shouldn't have come here." "I agree," Kelly says. He faces her again, eyes rimmed red. "You're cold." "No," she says slowly. "I'm done walking on eggshells for people who weaponize their pain. You want to talk trauma? Fine, but don't come into this space swinging, then act shocked when someone swings." "Fact, you think this is equal?" he asks, voice trembling. "I think this is the most honest moment you've had in 5 years," she replies. "And you can either learn from my tour, you can storm off like you always do." He doesn't move. "I'm not storming off." "Then sit down, and let's finish the conversation like grown adults." The crowd murmurs. A ripple of tension breaks, like glass. A few tentative claps. One brave soul shouts, "Let her speak." Harry hesitates. Then finally he sits. But the tension doesn't break. It calcifies, hardened and dangerous. Kelly leans forward, elbows on the table, her voice soft but unsparing. "You say your wife is targeted, that your family betrayed you, that the media hunted you. Okay, but here's what I see. Every room you walk into becomes a war zone. Every interview turns into a battlefield. You keep saying the problem is out there. What if it's not?" His face contorts. "You're blaming me. I'm holding you accountable. I'm trying to survive." "No," she says. "You're trying to win." There's a difference. For a second, just a second, Harry's eyes glaze. A flicker of confusion, of recognition, then it's gone. The audience is completely still. Kelly sits back. "If you came here to be heard, then listen, because that's what grown men do." Harry stares at her. His lips twitch like he wants to say something, but he doesn't. The camera tightens on his face again. No royalty, no title. Just a man surrounded by people who no longer believe the story he keeps telling. The seconds stretch out too long, too uncomfortable. He breaks the silence. "What do you want me to say?" Kelly's answer is a whisper, something real. The studio goes quiet, and the next words out of Harry's mouth could change everything. He stares at her. The question still lingers in the air, thick as smoke. "Say something real." For a moment, Prince Harry looks like a man without a script. His mouth opens slightly, but nothing comes out. He blinks once, twice, then finally, he exhales not the shallow breath of a man performing, but something deeper, something collapsing. "You want something real," he says softly, almost to himself. Kelly doesn't move. Neither does anyone in the room. The cameras hum like predators. "I wake up every morning waiting for a phone call from London that'll never come," he says. "I check my phone like some idiot teenager hoping to see my brother's name, or my father's. I want them to say, 'We get it now. We understand.' But they don't. They won't. They never will." The words hang there. No polish, no media training, just raw, ugly grief. Kelly's posture softens, just barely. She doesn't interrupt. Harry keeps going, voice hollow. They let the press eat her alive, day after day, month after month. "I asked them to help. I begged them. I said, please, just say something. Defend her the way you used to defend Kate. And they didn't. Silence. Worse than silence, they fed the fire." He wipes his eye quickly, as if refusing to let even one tear betray him on camera. "I left because I was going to lose her. That's the truth. I was going to lose Megan. Either to suicide or to bitterness. Or to me, becoming someone she no longer recognized. And if that makes me weak, then Then fine. I'm weak. But I'm still here. A hush falls over the audience. Not pity, something closer to reverence. This is the moment they came for, even if they didn't know it. Kelly leans forward again, this time with care. That's real, she says quietly. He nods, not looking at her. It doesn't excuse the way I've acted today. It doesn't, she replies without judgment. He looks at her now. Really looks at her. And for the first time, his eyes don't challenge. They plead. I'm so tired of fighting everyone, he says. I just don't know how to stop. Kelly sighs. Not annoyed, not cold, human. That's the hardest part. Knowing when to stop fighting and start listening, he sits back, shoulders slumped. Sometimes I feel like if I stop defending her, even for a second, the world will destroy her all over again. And sometimes, Kelly says softly, we destroy ourselves trying to save the people we love. The silence that follows is devastating. The audience is holding their collective breath. One woman in the front row wipes her eyes. Even a camera operator swipes his sleeve across his cheek and pretends it's dust. Harry closes his eyes just for a beat, like he's letting himself feel the weight of every word. Then a voice shouts from the back of the studio. Tell the truth about the Queen! The entire room jolts. Security pivots. The audience gasps. Harry's eyes fly open. Kelly shoots a look toward the back row. A woman stands trembling, pointing at Harry. You dishonored her. You trashed the monarchy for a Netflix check. Ma'am? You need to sit down, a producer says, rushing in. No, she yells. He's no victim. He sold his country for Hollywood. Security gets to her first. She's escorted toward the exit, still shouting. Harry sits frozen. Kelly doesn't move. The studio doors close behind the heckler. Silence returns, more volatile than before. I'm sorry, Kelly says softly. Harry's jaw clenches. That's every room I walk into now. Every room, every flight, every restaurant, every damn conversation. And you think yelling back will change it? She asks gently. His lips tighten. It's the only thing that makes me feel like I still exist. She stares at him. Then maybe that's what you need to fix. He says nothing. Just as the moment begins to settle again, the stage manager holds up a card behind the camera. 10 minutes left. Kelly nods almost imperceptibly, then turns back to him. There's still time to change the story. Harry, you just have to stop burning the set down every time someone disagrees with you. He chuckles bitterly. You think, it's that easy. No, but I think you're smart enough to know the difference between accountability and attack. His expression flickers. I never learned that, he admits. In the palace, you're either right or exiled. She leans in. Welcome to the real world. The crowd laughs, nervous, soft, cathartic. Harry smiles too. A real one, for the first time all day. But then the studio phone on the backstage wall rings. An old, clunky red landline. That phone never rings during taping. A PA rushes over, answers, listens, her eyes widen. She looks toward the stage, nods slowly, then walks over to whisper something in Kelly's ear. Kelly blinks, looks at Harry. What? He asks. She hesitates. Buckingham Palace just released a statement, she says. Slowly. They're watching. The crowd explodes in gasps. Harry's face goes blank. What? What does it say? Kelly looks to the PA. The young woman hands her a printed copy. Kelly unfolds it, reads it silently, then looks back at Harry. It's short, she says, but it's a direct response to this interview. He stands slowly. Read it. The room holds its breath. Kelly clears her throat. The royal family remains saddened by the ongoing public distress expressed by the Duke of Sussex. While we have chosen not to engage in media interviews, we remain committed to healing these private matters privately. We send our love to Harry and his family. Dead silence. Harry blinks, looks down, says nothing. Kelly folds the paper. I don't know what that means for you, she says, but it means they're listening. He nods slowly. They're listening, but not speaking. That's always been the problem. She pauses, then offers him a hand. Then maybe now's your chance to stop shouting and start saying something. They can hear. He looks at her hand. It's not a trap. It's a lifeline. He takes it. The audience erupts into applause. But behind the curtain, just out of frame, a different storm is brewing because someone else from the royal world has just landed in LA and they're about to walk straight into the eye of this hurricane. A single camera pivots left, barely catching the movement in the shadows beyond the curtain. A man steps into view. The audience sees him first. A ripple moves through the crowd like a current. Heads turn, gasps, rise. Even Kelly sees it. Widen as she whispers, "Oh my God." Harry turns slowly, as if he already knows, and there he is, James Hewitt, not Buckingham, not Charles, but him. The man tabloids once whispered about, the man whose name has loomed like a phantom behind Harry's entire existence. The ghost Harry was never allowed to acknowledge, let alone face. He's older now, graying eyes, tired, but unmistakably there. The audience doesn't know whether to clap or breathe. Most just freeze. Kelly's team is scrambling backstage, producers hissing into headsets. He wasn't invited. Who let him in? Shut down the feed. Harry doesn't move. James steps up onto the stage without a word. His shoes echo like thunder against the floor. Kelly doesn't speak either. She doesn't have to. This isn't her moment anymore. Harry breaks the silence. "I thought I'd never see you again." James stops, just a few feet away. "You didn't. You saw the shadow of me in headlines, in conspiracies, in everything you were never allowed to say." The room is dead quiet. "I'm not here for drama," James says. "I'm not here to confirm or deny anything. I'm here because I watched that interview and I saw a man trying not to drown." Harry's jaw tightens. "I've been treading water my whole life," he says. James nods. "So did I." He takes another step forward. "There are things I can't change, Harry. There are things none of us can undo. But I can stand here. I can tell you this much, what you've carried. You didn't deserve to carry alone." A pause, thick, cracking. Harry's voice is a whisper now. "I've spent my life being blamed for things I couldn't control. My mother's death, the media, the family fallout, even existing." Kelly is motionless, not even blinking. And now, James asks. Harry exhales. "Now I'm tired." James looks him in the eye, then put it down. That's when Harry's legs buckle, not from pain, from release. He stumbles into James's arms. No title, no deflection, no media armor. Just a man, breaking in public for the first time in his life. James holds him, steady, silent. The audience stands, no cheers, just respect. No clapping, just witness. Kelly steps back. This isn't her show anymore. It never really was. After a long moment, Harry pulls away. He turns to face the crowd again. His face flushed, tear-streaked, but finally human. "I haven't always gotten it right," he says. "Sometimes I've been arrogant, defensive. Sometimes I've confused pain with truth. But today, on this stage, I was forced to face myself in a way I've never allowed." He turns to Kelly. Their eyes lock. There is no rage anymore, just understanding. "You didn't attack me," he says. "You held up a mirror, and I fought it, but I see it now." Kelly smiles barely. It's not vindication, it's relief. Harry steps toward the front of the stage. "I came here to talk about my book," he says, "but books don't save people. Conversations do. Real ones, messy ones, painful ones." He looks to the cameras now. Right down the lens if you're watching. This, if you're someone who's ever lashed out instead of listening, who's ever let pride speak louder than pain please. Don't wait for a breakdown to have a breakthrough. His voice trembles. "I'm sorry, Megan. I'm sorry, William. I'm sorry to everyone I've shouted at, instead of heard, including you, Kelly." Kelly nods, her throat too tight to speak. Harry steps back. "I've spent years trying to control the narrative, but the truth is, healing starts when you stop talking at the world, and start talking with it." He turns to the audience again, and this time, he doesn't beg for sympathy. He offers grace. "Thank you for letting me fall apart and rebuild in front of you." There's a beat of silence, then dash applause. Slow at first, then a wave, but not the kind that's cheering drama, the kind that honors honesty. James Hewitt steps back. He doesn't wave, he doesn't grandstand. He just nods. Harry turns to Kelly. "I'm done running," he says. Kelly's voice is gentle now. "Then let's walk forward." They shake hands, and as the credits begin to roll, not behind a glossy logo, but over the raw aftermath of one of the most emotionally vulnerable conversations ever seen on daytime TV, Harry steps down from the stage. No spotlight, No music cue, just silence, and truth, and maybe a beginning. The cameras linger, the lights dim, and as the final frame freezes on Harry walking through the studio doors, not as a prince, but as a man, we hear Kelly's voice one last time, barely above a whisper. If you've watched this far, thank you for choosing truth over gossip, growth over drama, humanity over headlines. And if this conversation meant something to you, share it. Let someone else feel seen. Click like, hit subscribe, and stay with us, because the next moment that changes everything might already be unfolding.